We're going to welcome in right now Bellator light heavyweight Liam McGeary. Thank you for the time, sir. First off, how you doing?
I'm very well, man. Very well. Looking forward to getting into a fight.
Does it add an extra level of excitement to you to be fighting back home in London? Back in England?
As it what?
Does it add an extra level of excitement for you fighting back in your native country?
Oh, of course, man. I can't wait to put on a show for the home fans. It's been I've never fought in London before, so it's going to be an experience, and I want it to be a good experience. A great memory. I'm fighting at Wembley Arena, the SSE Arena, and yeah, man, this is just one of them ones to go back in the memory bank and be like, yo, remember that time when you fought the SSE Arena? You kicked shit out of Linda myself.
Had fighting in Wembley Arena, had that been a goal of yours?
When I was younger, I was watching them play football at the Wembley, and it's always been a big standout stadium. I've always wanted to go to the Wembley ever since I was a kid. And now I'm fighting, and now they put shows on in these arenas and stadiums. Then of course I wanted a piece of that action. I wasn't going to turn down fighting in London again. The last time I missed out because of injury, and I was in the O2 Arena. So this one's an even bigger place. So. No, I'm happy. I'm well happy that we're fighting in where we're fighting and how it's going to go down.
And then tell us about the camp. How's the camp been for this one?
Camp has been awesome. Everything's get good. Training's just got better and better. I've got better and better. I can't complain at all about any of them.
Have there been any changes or anything you've done different for this one leading into fighting Vassell?
Everything I've done, I've just got better at, mate.
And then looking at your opponent, Liam Vassell, what do you think about him?
He's a good guy.
Well, what do you think about his fight game?
His fight, he's pretty much done exactly the same in all of his fights, He's done a bit of striking, he gone to wrestle somebody, took that down, jumped on their back and tried to submit them with a rear naked choke. So, it is what it is, It's if we go down to the ground, I train with Henzo Gracie's in New York. The guys down there are the best in the world at what they do, and I can live to tell the tale from it. So it's I'm excited. I'm looking forward to doing whatever happens, wherever the fight goes. I'm bang up for it.
Does it feel like, though, it's been a repetitive theme for you, or a repetitive question? People asking about the takedown defense. It's going to come up again this time, because we all know Vassell does like to take it to the ground after a while.
The takedown defense, obviously I've been working on the takedown defense. But it all depends on the night, I might not be able to do it, or I might be able to do it. Depends, It's been working well in training, so let's hope I can put that on in the cage itself on the night. If not, then we just play jiu-jitsu on the ground.
And we've seen you play jiu-jitsu and do it excellently. What has it been that's been your key to success for finding the submissions that you have and the effectiveness you've had with your guard game?
I'm always on the hunt. I'm always on the hunt for a finish. I've got a dangerous game on the ground, and I enjoy playing it. I just enjoy the fight game, and I enjoy these aspects of it. I don't want to sit still and lay down and just grind something out. It's boring, man. It's boring to be in, and it's boring to watch. So I'd rather try my best and put positions in and go for something spectacular. And if it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. In that last fight against Brett, I ended up pulling a move off of him I didn't even know existed. I had his shoulder locked in. I'd never done that before, and I kind of got a little bit confused and lost. So I had to go back to the gym and figure out where I could go from there. And I found out that I've got some devastating submissions from there. So watch out.
Talking about that last fight, was there any sense of a refreshingness for you that somebody wanted to stand and trade punches?
I'm glad he wanted to stand and trade punches. I wanted to fight. After the last one, I'd worked so hard in training, I didn't get the fight that I wanted. And then a few months later, I'm back in against. And let's face it, he's a fucking bully, and he's a tough one as well. So on as well. So I'm glad that I was able to get punched in the face and me punch him in the face and mess him up and do the things I did to him. You know, I mean, I texted him to make sure he was healed up all right and was okay. You know, and it turns out he's all right.
Talking about that last one, you had several late opponent changes for that fight. What was the mental side of that like?
What was the what?
The mental side of the opponent changes that occurred with your last fight.
I mean, it was a little bit frustrating. You know, it was more annoying than anything else. It's like, look, just someone fucking fight me. You know, I put all this work in and to get it thrown away. And when I got told that the Chris Shields had been pulled out, I kind of like I was surprised. You know, I was like, what? Why is he pulled out? I mean, I don't understand why. Why can't he fight? You know, it just didn't make no sense to me. I was like, someone needs to be in there. I was like, fucking get somebody. You know, it's like, I don't want to not fight. You know, this fight has to happen. I need to fight.
With Brett taking the fight, how it played out, was there a sense of just joy though, knowing that you were going to be able to fight walking into that one, that he did accept it?
Is it what?
Was it a sense of joy or relief once he accepted it, that there had been the changes and it had been up in the air? What was that like, finding out you were going to get to fight after what had happened?
Oh, it was a joy, you know. It was a joy to be in Belfast. It was a joy to be able to put on a show in Belfast. I'd never actually been to Ireland before. So yeah, no, it was everything was happy days, you know. And that's what I see him in the lift, and I was like, thanks for taking this fight, you know. This is even before the fight happened.
A good experience, and now you have this fight. Where do you feel a victory puts you in the division?
Definitely back in title contention. You know, it definitely puts back up where I belong. You know, you make a mistake and you pay dearly for it. You know, and it's I'm eager to get back to where I belong. You know, I worked so hard to get there in the first place, and then fuck it up by fucking messing up during training. Then I was a little bit annoyed. You know, I got over that and then straight back to the gym.
You go back and you look back at the loss to Phil Davis. What do you feel you could have done differently there?
Not got so emotionally involved, not charged into it. He wants to play a boring fight. Unfortunately, you're going to have to play a boring fight to beat him.
What do you think about his upcoming title defense? Him, Ryan Bader, who do you think, following that one, is the guy that you're going to be looking at the challenge for the title?
I want Phil to win, man. Ryan Bader can't just come into this division and be like, yeah, I demand a title shot just because he's Ryan Bader, you know? You've got to earn your title shots. Unfortunately, Mo got injured, so and Phil stepped up, you know? I mean, Phil needs to fight. Phil ain't fought since November, so it's about time that he got back in the cage. But he's defending his belt, it's my belt, you know, and it's I want to fight Phil afterwards. So I'm down for Phil to win.
I was watching earlier from the Bellator app. They had Liam McGeary in focus, and it talked about the last fight against Brett. And the way Jimmy Smith broke it down heading in was that your back was against the wall coming off the loss. Did you feel that it was the first loss of your career, or did you just feel you just had to get back in the win column?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit harsh. It was the only time I've ever lost, you know, and I put on however many fights I've had, and they've all been wins in the first round or the second round. So I thought it was a little bit harsh to hear some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, this is MMA, and people say whatever they want to say. But I didn't feel that my back was against no wall. I've always believed and I've known what I can do and what I'm capable of. I was just going to go back in there and do what I was doing. And that's beating people up.
I got to agree with you. When I heard those comments earlier, I was like, that's a little harsh to a guy that's 12-1 and is...
It was, wasn't it, right?
You've taken out...
and Jesus Christ, man.
You've taken out and been a highlight machine for Bellator. We've seen the striking. We've seen the jiu-jitsu. Where do you feel as a martial artist you're at to becoming a well-rounded fighter? Feel that you have a well-rounded skill set, or are you there yet?
I mean, who is a well-rounded fighter? You know, George St. Pierre is a well-rounded fighter.
Mighty Mouse.
That's one guy. But I mean, again, people forget that I only started training in 2009. You know, I ain't been in this game as long as half of the people. I started when I was 27 years old. You know, I'm 34, as I've been told. So I'm still relatively green in this sport. You know, but I know where I'm at and I know what I'm capable of doing. So you just got to work at these things. You know, that's the only thing you can do. You work to get better, and don't let anything stop you. If you come against a road hump, then either find a way over it, under it, around it, or whatever. You know, so just keep working, and that's exactly what I've got to do, and that's what I have done.
At 34 years old, but only 13 fights into this career.
Don't say that. Listen, I said it once. Don't be reminding me how old I am.
No. You said it, so I was just reiterating it.
I know, that's what I said. I said it. Don't you remind me.
But 13 fights into your career, you're still young in the fight career. Is there any extra mileage, though, from your youth, from the bar fights that we've heard of?
Oh yeah, man. I was just a typical boy when I was younger. So all the knocks, the broken bones, the climbing things, or falling out of trees and messing around. I worked on a building site since I was 15. You know, humping steel around all day. That shit will break your back. You know, so it's not a case of like, yeah, I might be relatively young in the fight game, but my body still took a beating over the last 14 years or whatever it was. So yeah, all these little injuries where I didn't go to the doctor when I broke a wrist or chopped off a plaster cast. You know, they come back and bite me in the butt. You know, it's now I'm getting older. These things are starting to take effect. So yeah, I ain't as young as I used to be.
But how does your body feel? Do you feel the wear and tear from the training, or do you still feel young and energetic?
Oh man, I'm always young and energetic. You know, I love doing what I do, and then and I continue on doing what I do. It's just on the night time when I finish doing it, that's when you're like, oh my god. Or when you're getting up in the morning, that's when I feel it. But during the day, fine.
And I've heard with your interviews, you have the reputation one of the most jovial, happy guys in MMA. In a sport where everybody's cracking heads and cursing each other out, how do you keep things light like this? Keep things happy and keep things joking?
I just don't listen to them. You know, they start swearing and start causing trouble. At the end of the day, this is a fight game. You know, you start pissing me off, then I do fight for a living, and I am bad at fighting. So it just takes one little thing to switch something over, and then you might have got a fist in your face or a head kick coming in your way. So it's the perfect yin and yang. I think you have to have in this game. You know, you can't be pissed off and angry all the time because I'm 6'6". If I start being pissed off and angry and walking around town being that way, then the police are going to get called a lot of the times because people get scared. So I just made that decision when I was younger. I can't always be angry.
Good way to be, a positive way to be. How have you changed and intaken the martial arts lifestyle with everything from being a steel worker to now being the martial artist, being in jiu-jitsu a lot? How's that transformed your mentality towards life?
I think it made me want to help people more, you know? Whereas before I was working on a building site, I'd just be working and earning my money and doing the thing and working well, you know? And then and now I come into the martial arts side of things. I noticed how, with the jiu-jitsu side of things, I know with Gracie Barra and Henzo Gracie's, they show you this secret of jiu-jitsu, and then you want to expand it, you know? So you got to find your gift, and then you've got to share it, you know?
Awesome. We know that you were in England. You've moved over here to the States. What's the best part about living in Brooklyn now?
It's not Manhattan. No, it's just pretty cool, you know? It's a cool area to live in. There's a lot of things going down. Yeah, it's just it's Brooklyn, you know? I live in Brooklyn. Especially when I used to live on Turbis Road. So from Turbis Road to Brooklyn is a big step. And those people in Kings Lynn will know exactly what Turbis Road was like.
Now, what do you do this week to take in all of the atmosphere, first time fighting, Wembley, everything? What do you do to salivate this moment but still stay focused on the job at hand?
I don't really do anything different, mate. You know, all of these have been a good experiences. So I just take it in my stride and just continue on doing what I do. At the end of the day, it's just another cage stuck in a room with a load of people watching. So that's the way I look at it.
And one last question on the fight. How do you go in there and find Linton Vassell's weakness and break him in this fight?
Punch him in the face. Everyone's plan goes to shit once they get hit in the face. And then you hit him again, and then it goes even worse, and it's like, oh God, what am I doing now? And then you hit him again and again and again. So keep hitting him.
And obviously, the focus for you is getting that belt back, right?
Yeah, that's the end game. The plan is to get the belt. How I get the belt, I'm going to enjoy the ride getting there. So it's I can go this way, I go that way, I go over there, but the main goal is to get my belt back.
This win, do you think that's enough, or do you think it may be one more before that title shot comes?
I believe it could well be after this win, you know, but we'll see. We'll take it. I'll speak to people afterwards, and then we'll figure that out after.
Bellator 179. Can't wait for it. Liam McGeary, thank you so much for the time, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
for your viewing pleasure Saturday. Getting kicked off at, I believe, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You have Glory 41 from Holland. That card is on ESPN3 to kick off the morning. A four-man heavyweight tournament. Anderson Brodek Silva versus Gaines Fortis is the first fight, and D'Angelo Marcel versus Muhammad Abdullah, the second fight. You also have the co-main event, a heavyweight bout, Hesti Gergis, Chai Lewis Perry, the grudge match going at it for Glory 41. Then the Glory 41 Super Fight Series is after that. It is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Super Fight Series on UFC Fight Pass. I'm going to include at light heavyweight Michael Dunt versus Murad Bouzidi. That's a heavy-hitting affair. Welterweight Murdo Grunhart versus Alan Schnitzson. That is going to be a great one. The featherweight title will be vacant no longer. Roman Van Roosmalen versus Pachape Patamaru, the Muay Thai expert, versus the Dutch kickboxing machine. That one is ultra exciting. And then the heavyweight main event, Rico Verhoeven, the reigning defending Glory heavyweight champion, against Ishmael Lazar. UFC Fight Pass. That's what's Saturday.